get about right here on our driveway, I start seeing our gate way down there. And it's been decorated really beautiful for Christmas. And I just hate pulling in here and seeing it bare with nothing here in the winter time. So once Christmas comes down, the Christmas stuff comes down, and everything's put away, this is what we're left with, is just a blank space. I think we should make a Valentine's wreath that'll carry us to the middle of February, and then that will be the time when I will make a wreath for spring. Hi everyone, Rebecca at Wendy Branch's Farm. Today we're making a wreath for our front gate that is Valentine's themed. I told you earlier when I was driving in the driveway that everything just looked dead, and after all of the Christmas stuff is put away and all of that, everything just looks so blah. So we are going to make a wreath and hang it out there on the gate, and that will carry us through until I make my spring wreath around the middle of February. And I'm okay if this hangs up for, a week after Valentine's Day. I don't care about that. I just want it to last until I make my spring wreath. And one of our daughters gave me, let me see if I can show you, all of these beautiful silk flowers, and I'm gonna make a lot of beautiful things with that, and hopefully a lot of that will be used for spring, like some of these colors and the yellow. But yeah, I picked some of it out to use in this wreath, a eucalyptus and a couple of things, but I'm going to make this wreath, and I hope you'll follow along with me and make your own wreath to go on your door or your gate or your porch, wherever you want to hang it, even inside the house if you want to hang it inside the house. At our old house in Grayson, I used to make wreaths and hang them on the mirrors, and that was beautiful. I loved looking at the wreaths on the mirrors. But this one is going to be for Valentine's Day, and it's going down on our main gate coming into our property. Here are the things that we're going to use for this wreath. We're going to use 2 different kinds of wired ribbon. We have the hearts and some red. We're going to use these wooden, it says they're ornaments. They're just wooden pieces. I'm going to hot glue at least one of these in the center of this. This is just a tin or metal plaque thing. And this came on it, so we're going to use that. We are going to use a piece of this beautiful see that? Some eucalyptus. That's really pretty, actually. I really like that. I lost my train of thought because I was looking at how pretty that is. I just really, really like that. I may put that in all of the wreaths I make. Anyway, moving on. We'll need some greenery. This has some little white and green berries on it. We'll need some of these long white flowers, long white stems. I gathered up some sticks from outside. We'll need paddle wire, some scissors, a grapevine wreath form, and then I made this pinecone swag on another video that I did, and I started taking it apart, which is why there's a hole right here. But I started taking it apart, and I was going to store the pine cones in my Christmas stuff and not use those anymore until Christmas. But I changed my mind. I want to incorporate some of these pine cones into my wreath. So I'll take this greenery off and discard it. I'll just throw it out in the wood pile out there to just get rid of that. And I won't use this bow, but I'll take the bow off and go ahead and put that with our Christmas stuff. First thing we need to do is disassemble this beautiful pine cone swag. I want to reuse these pine cones, and so we're going to start cutting these off. I think I'll just cut them as close to the base as I can and save that little piece of wire. I don't know how many we'll use, just probably 4 or 5 maybe. But I did want to use these because they're beautiful. And it is still wintertime, so not that that matters, but you know, pine cones are used a lot in stuff in the winter and in the fall or whatever. So we have 4 there. Let's do, we've got 4. Let's do about 6. What do y'all think? Let's do about 6. Here, all of my sticks and flowers and all of this. Oh, this behind me, this is a quilt that I am working on for my little grandson. So I made this for him for Christmas, and it wasn't quite long enough. Like, I just was making it like a little throw for him, and it wasn't quite long enough. So when he was over and spent the night here with us the other night, I asked him how he slept when I woke up in the morning, and he loves to have conversations. So, you know, I said, "Oh, good morning. How did you sleep last night?" And he said, "I slept fine, me mom, but my feet were cold all night." I said, "Well, why were your feet cold? Did you not use your blanket?" He said, "Yes, but me mom, your blanket is too little for me, and I'm not a baby." So I went to the store. I went to Walmart, and I bought more Mickey Mouse material and more of the plain material. These are fat quarters, is what I made it out of. And then the stripes here, those stripes are from, you know how when you go to the store, you can buy packages of strips of fabric like this, only they're much longer. These are cut in half. But you can buy the rolls of strips of fabric. Well, I had a ton of these colors, and so I just sewed each strip. I sewed that together, and then this is a fat quarter, and I did cut some of it off because I wanted to space out the Mickey Mouse. So I'll do that again and add a couple of more feet to his blanket, so his little feet won't be cold all night long because me mom gave him a blanket that was too short. Oh, these kids. All right. So what we have is the white stem flower. We have the greenery. I think the greenery should go in the back. We have sticks. We'll place those where we think that they'll look the best. Have some sticks. And then we have this beautiful eucalyptus. This even has some little pine cones on it. I'll come and show you. It has some really cute pine cones on it. I really like this. I have to ask her where she got it. I imagine Hobby Lobby or something. They usually have pretty unique stuff in there. So we have some of this. Put that there. And then I'm going to make the bundle out of this. This is going to be my bundle. And so what I'm going to do is get this on there before I try and place, before I try to place the flowers. That way I know exactly where they're going to go. Scoot you just a little bit closer so you can see what we're working on here. Okay, so here's what we've got. This is our bundle. I'm going to use paddle wire and wrap this together. So you know, you just take the paddle wire and put it on, and then wrap it very tightly around and around, making sure that you go up the stems a good bit and then come back down the stems a good bit, and that way that just holds all of your stuff together. So we're going to use this wire that's left like a bread tie and twist it. That'll hold it together. And now this will get attached to this wreath. So we're going to attach it. Let's look at it and make sure which part looks the best. Okay, so we're going to attach it here, right here, with more paddle wire. So I'll just weave this through the grapevine pieces and get that going that way. And then we'll just keep going with it, and we're going to wrap this really tight around this. So lay your paddle wire there, and now grab your second bundle and place that bundle right there. We go. I am going to use some hot glue for this because I don't want it to fall apart. Okay, so we have our bundle here, and now let's wrap this, start wrapping this around and around and around. We're going to wrap it a few times. And remember to pull it tight. Don't pull it so tight that you break the wire. I have had that happen to me before. But just go around and around. And like I said, what I like to do is I like to go down the bundle stems 2 or 3 times just to make sure that you get everything in there good and tight, and then go back up the stems 2 or 3 times just to make sure that everything, you know, this is going to be outside on the gate, and so we want to make sure that this sucker don't blow away. It's very windy here anyway, but okay, so let me show you what to do. You have this piece of wire left. That's the end of your wire. pull it tight, and then feed it underneath these other pieces of wire. And do that several times. Just keep doing that over and over. I need to put my glasses on. I can't hardly see. Okay. Do it one more time. Pull that through. Okay. So that's good and tight. It's wrapped around good and tight. And here's what we have so far. This is what we have so far. Okay, so now comes the time where we want to, where we are going to want to, I'm trying to fix this one little stick in here. Stick him in there. Okay. So now comes the time where we want to take the hot glue gun and glue these beautiful little red flowers. These are tulips, looks like. And we want to hot glue these in and around different areas of our wreath. So that's what we're going to do now. And it doesn't matter if the center of this is showing, because we're going to put a big bow right there. So that's fine if the center is showing. Don't worry about that right now. We'll get to that soon enough. So what I'm trying to do is on each side, it may be easier for you to see like that. On each side, I want to do the same thing so that they look similar, at least. Put glue. This is a rugged surface on this piece of metal, and so I'm just hoping for it to grab some glue. Use my pliers to hold it up. I think that looks better. Y'all think it looks better right there? I think so. Okay, let's make the bow. Here we go. We're going to make our bow for our Valentine's Day wreath. I have a length of wire here. I need to invest in some pipe cleaners, but I don't have any of those. So we're using what we've got. So we have this ribbon. It's a wide ribbon. It's wired, so it'll be easy to manipulate to get it to look the way we want. And we have a, I guess this is silky, kinda. You can see through it. It's wired ribbon too. This one is 4 inches wide, and this one is 2.5 inches wide. So we're going to make our bow. So what we're gonna do is hold this and let this go in the floor. We're gonna hold this and let this go in the floor. So here we go. We're going to lay one on top of the other. Make sure that they're even. Figure out how long we want our tail, and I think about 6 inches should be good. So we'll start folding our bow here. So this is going to be our tail, and we'll start folding our bow here. So you bring it together. Hold it tight. Bring it together. Hold it tight. Bring it together. Hold tight again. Bring it together. We want to make sure everything is even. Hold it tight. Bring it together. Hold it tight. And then we want about 6 inches, 6 or 8 inches here to make our tail. So let's cut that off right there. Okay. And it's okay, one side's longer than the other. I see that, but that's fine. So now what we're going to do is make sure that all of your top ribbon is in the right place because we're about to scrunch this together. So make sure all of the top ribbon is where you want it, which isn't going to matter in a few minutes because we're going to separate all of this, but right now we want it to be nice and uniform so we can do with it what we need to do. Okay, so separating your 2 pieces of your bow, so you have just this right here hanging down. We want to squeeze this together, leaving our tails out. Squeeze this together, tight, tight. Squeeze it together. Use your floral wire or your paddle wire or a pipe cleaner, whatever you have on hand that you can't have to use, and start wrapping your wire around this part of the bow and wrap it tight because we don't want this to come apart. So wrap it around and pull it tight. Wrap it around and pull it tight. See here, just going to wrap it around. Wrap this side around. Pull it tight. Okay. Now, back here in the back, this is what we have left, is this wire. Twist it like a bread tie, just as tight as you can get it. Just twist it tight, tight, tight. So that this stays good and tight. Now what I like to do, you don't have to do this if you're confident that your bow won't fall apart or that the wire won't come loose. But like I said, it's very, very, very windy here where we live. And so I want to add a little drop of hot glue in the center where I have gathered this wire and twisted it tight, just to make sure that my wire does not wiggle loose. So I'm just going to add a little dollop of hot glue there and let that dry. And now, what we're going to do now is even this up. So what we have is, let's see exactly how long that is so I can tell you exactly how long the tail is. Okay, so this tail is 5 inches. So we need to cut this tail accordingly. So we want that to be 5 inches. So that's right here. So we'll cut that off and save that ribbon because we never know when we might need a tiny piece of ribbon for something. And then now, if you want to do the little fancy cut on the end, you can. I'm going to do these individually because my bottom ribbon is so much wider than the top ribbon. And I want to make sure that I just cut that wrong. Did y'all see that? There we go. Here's this. Put those together. And then cut that so it makes that nice V. And then we'll do this side the same way. And we'll do this side the same way. Okay, and now we have our pretty ends. Okay, so we have our wire out the back. That's what's going to attach to our wreath. And now what we want to do is pull these apart and make them look, make it look real round and fluffy. So what you do is you pull this one this way. And whichever one you pull this way, you want to pull this way next. So then we're going to go this way. And then we're going to go this way. And then this way. And then this way. And yes, I know it looks like a mess right this minute. It will not look like a mess in a minute when we get it all together here. This is going to be nice and round and pretty. And these big pieces are going to just pop out with that red color and the white. And this isn't the last fluff. We'll have to do this again once we get out to the gate to put this on the gate. We will definitely be doing this again. Oh, but look at this, guys. Here is our beautiful bow. How do you like that? I think it looks beautiful. And it'll look even prettier once we get out to the gate and hang it up on the gate. It really is a no-fuss method to make this bow, this kind of bow, because you just put it together and clip it or tie it up with the wire or whatever it is you have to tie yours with. And then, yeah, you've got it. So we'll get this on our wreath. I think because I have quite a bit of this ribbon left, I'm going to make a little bit longer tail to go on this wreath. So we'll fold this in half. Let's move that. This is pretty long. Let's see how long this is. So it's folded over, but that's 27 inches. I don't quite want it that long. So let's go a little more like, let's see what this is. That's 18 inches. I'm going to do 16 inches. So we'll scoot this up a little bit. We're going to do 16 inches. I think that's plenty. Okay. So let's cut that. We'll go ahead and make our corner cut this way. Uh-oh. Well, it wouldn't cut through the cut through the thing quite right. Okay, so we have our corners made. I don't think I'm going to cut this. I'm just going to add it around the bow. I think I'm just going to tie this around on the bow. So that's the back side, because here is our extra wire. So we want to wrap it from this side. So we'll gather that up, make sure we keep our wire out in the back. Gather that together, and we will tie this up in a knot. Okay. And what can that hurt? It will just hold it on there even better. Okay, so now we have some long tails. So when we get out to the gate, what we'll do is check these tails and see if they're too long. Here's our wreath. A beautiful Valentine's Day wreath. It's going to hang like this. So we want to put on the bow, and we'll use our little middle ties to do that. So a beautiful wreath to hang at our gate. Now we're going to go grab the golf cart and run down to the front gate and see how this looks.
Thank you for taking the time to watch our videos. If you liked this video and found it helpful, please subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when a new video has been uploaded.